Hello student, I am Rohit, I am a social science teacher. Today we are discussing about the chapter number 3, latitude, longitude and time in geography. Now to find the location of a place we need to know its distance and direction from the known points. This is known as the point of reference, and the north pole, the south pole and the equator serve as important points of the reference of the earth. If you see the globe, you will see a line of equator running across its center. The equator is an imaginary circular line. We divide the globe into two equal halves, and the northern half is known as the northern hemisphere. The southern half is known as a southern hemisphere. Now now we are discussing latitude. Now latitude latitude is a measure the distance north or south of the equator. The two end points of the earth axis, the north pole and the south pole, are the basic of the reference of the locate places. If we imagine a circle around the middle of the earth, then the half way between the two poles we arrive at the equator. The second reference point to locate the place is the equator, or the great circle divide the earth into two equal parts, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. The equator represent 0 degree, while the north pole and the south pole are 90 degree and 90 degrees south of the equator respectively. Now latitude is the angular distance of a place north or south of the equator as measured from the center of the earth. In order to measure the equal distance from the equator, circles are drawn at an angular distance of 1 degree apart from the center of the earth on the both sides of the equator. So the latitudes are the angular distance from the equator. Now these are the important latitudes: equator, Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere and Arctic Circle and North Pole, and Tropic of Capricorn in the southern hemisphere, Antarctica Circle in the southern hemisphere and South Pole. The important parallel of the latitude beside the equator 0 degree, the North Pole 90 degree north and the South Pole 90 degree south. There are the four parallel of the latitude: Tropic of Cancer 23 degree in the northern hemisphere, and Tropic of Capricorn 23 degree and half in the southern hemisphere, and Arctic Circle 66 and half north of the equator, and Antarctic Circle 66 degree and half in the southern hemisphere. Now the uh, the climate change from hot to the warm and warm to the cold and cold to the frigid or cold, or we move away from the equator towards the pole. This is because as we move from the equator, the sun rays falls on the earth's surface at a more slanted angles, and this heat is spread over a large area. The rays are also travel through a longer part of the atmosphere, hence heating is reduced. On the basis of the distance from the equator, Earth is divided into the three broad climatic zone. These are called heat zone. Now, the first one is the first one is frigid zone. The frigid zone, and second is temperate zone, and third one is torrid zone. The different heat zones of the earth. The torrid zone is just the hottest of the different zones since it is the closest of the equator. Now the torrid zone, it is the area between the Tropic of Cancer and 23 degree and half north and the Tropic of Capricorn 23 degree south. Because the midway sunlight is directly overhead at the minimum each year in all latitude, this zone receives the most heat from the sun. And the torrid zone lies between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn in the south. The equator falls in this zone since this region receives the direct rays of the sun rays throughout the years, and it is the hottest zone. Now second is temperate zone. Temperate zone is a moderate temperature. The temperate zone lies between the Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle, and the south temperate zone lies between the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle. The sun rays reach at the Earth's surface at a slanted angles and throughout the year. Now next is frigid zone. Now frigid zone is a very cold zone. Frigid means cold. The cold The north frigid zone lies between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole, while the south frigid zone lies between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole. These regions are extremely cold, permanently frozen, because the sun rays reach the Earth's surface at an extremely slanted angle. The frigid zone. Now, next is longitude. Now, longitude is angular distance of a place of the surface the Earth measured in a degree east or west of the prime meridian. It is measured from the center of the Earth. This is clear from the figure. This is clear from the figure. Longitude lies drawn around the Earth and from the North Pole to the south. These semicircles are equal length or known as the lines of the longitude and meridians of the longitude. Now, since the ancient times, man has been nothing this movement by the sun in the sky. The recorded according position of the sun in the sky is also called the local time. Now, Earth takes 24 hours to cover 360 degree of the longitude, one rotation. So, in 1 hour, it covers 50 degree of the longitudes, and in 4 minutes, and it covered the 1 degree of the longitude. This means there is a difference of 4 minutes between the local times at any point with one 1 degree apart. Now, what is a local time? If we set the watches to correct the times at the 12 noon, when our longitude directly under the sun, the time is shown to be a local time. Similarly, all the meridians, the east and the west, have their own particular local time, and the system time zone have been adopted since 1884 to avoid the confusion frequent changes of the time when moving from one place to another. And the international agreement, the world is divided into 24 zone or belts. Each zone covers 15 degree of the longitude, and the prime meridian passing through the Royal Observatory Greenwich near the London, it is used as a starting point, and the local time here is known as the Greenwich Mean Time. And while before the 1970 we calculated time the longitudinal distance from the Greenwich meridian, and we now use a coordinated universal time UTC, which is time standard and digital timekeeping. Now, standard time, most of the countries selected a central meridian as the standard meridian to avoid the confusion in keeping over the different part of the country. The local time of the standard meridian become the standard time for the country. Now, Indian standard time, Indian longitude extent is 68 degree east to the 97:25 east, which is not too large, and the 82 degree 30 east longitude, which runs almost through the center of the country, is near the Allahabad, now called Prayagraj. There is taken as a standard meridian for the whole country. The local time is called the Indian Standard Time IST, and it's about 5 hour 30 minute ahead of the UTC or and GMT. Now, this is all about the chapter number 3 in geography, latitude, longitude, and time.